Welcome to She is Resilient, a podcast for women on their healing journeys who are ready to start living their most authentic and empowered lives outside of survival mode. I'm your host, Tatiana, trauma and somatic therapist, as well as a holistic coach, and I'm on a mission to help more women heal their nervous systems. Each week, me and my guests are going to get real and vulnerable about the experiences that led us to becoming the empowered and resilient women we are today. You'll leave this podcast with the skills, knowledge, and inspiration to start creating the life you deserve. Because if another woman can do it, so can you. I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why you can't calm down when you're trying to calm down. The number one reason you can't calm down when you're trying to calm down is primarily your expectation of getting rid of your discomfort. And if you're like, yeah, Tatiana, isn't that the whole point? Hear me out. We cannot get rid of our emotions and sensations. Why? Because we're humans and not robots. And the more you try to get rid of something, the more it stays. Because what your sensations and emotions actually need is attention. Think of your emotions and sensations like a little baby. When a baby cries, are you going to ignore the baby? Are you going to tell the baby to stop crying? I would hope not. Because if you do that, guess what? The crying is only going to get louder and louder. But what happens when you pick up the baby and feed the baby and nurture the baby? Well, the baby stops to cry because the baby's needs are met. Your sensations and emotions are the same exact way. Or should I say, your nervous system is the same exact way. When you nurture your nervous system and when you're gentle with your nervous system, it starts to quiet down because it feels safe. So instead of using your somatic tools to get rid of your uncomfortable sensations and emotions, try using your tools to support your nervous system and create more safety in your nervous system. By doing this without the expectation of getting rid of your discomfort, you're approaching the situation with less of a grip, allowing and trusting that your body knows exactly what to do if you simply provide it with a safe internal and external environment. So number 2, your nervous system doesn't act on command. So you cannot control how your nervous system responds. You can't control when it goes into survival, and you can't control when it comes out of survival. Your nervous system does this completely on its own, and you have to trust that your body is wiser than your mind. Because when the nervous system feels safe, it will naturally come out of survival. But you don't decide that. All you can control is how you respond to your nervous system. Right? It's called the autonomic nervous system for a reason. It's involuntary. Your nervous system is the unconscious. You can't control the unconscious. But once you notice your unconscious behavior, now we can use our logical brains, aka our conscious, to choose how we respond to our nervous system. So like I said, you can't control when your nervous system goes into a state of panic or survival, but you can recognize that you're in a state of panic and now choose to support your body through somatic practices, creating that safety in your body, allowing the nervous system to begin to settle on its own. I hope that makes sense. Number 3, because you're only using your somatic tools or coping skills in moments of crisis instead of using them on a daily basis. Here's why. We need to be supporting and creating safety in the body every single day. If you only use your tools when you're already at a 10, then of course your tools aren't going to be helpful. Your nervous system hasn't been trained to use this as a support. So I invite you to use your tools as a preventative method. So take your favorite or most effective tool, mine is the VU sound. So we'll use that as an example. Practice 1 or 2 VU sounds every single day. And then when you start to notice that you're feeling activated, use your tool when you're at a 6 or a 7 instead of waiting until you're already at a 10. When you're at a 6 or 7, you can still think clear enough to use your tools in an effective way. So practice your tools every single day, even when you're not feeling activated, and then use them as a preventative method, not only for emergencies. And number 4, you're not giving these practices enough time and space. And this one sort of connects with number 1. Usually what I notice with my somatic experiencing clients is that they're practicing these tools very quickly in order to get rid of their sensation or emotion. And if it doesn't work, then they try another tool. And if that doesn't work, then they move on to another. Slow it down. Slowly orient. Take in your space. The slower you go, the safer your nervous system feels. When you move too fast, you tell your nervous system that it's time to take action, putting you back in a sympathetic state of activation, aka fight or flight. Every time you practice a tool, imagine you're going in super slow motion. That way, you make sure that you're giving your nervous system the time and space that it needs to catch up to your logical brain. Your nervous system heals in slowness. So I hope that answers the question of why you can't calm down when you're trying to calm down. Let me know how you like this episode. Send me a DM or an email, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you absolutely loved this episode, I would so appreciate it if you subscribed and left a review on Apple Podcast, or take a screenshot and share this episode on social media. Don't forget to tag me at tatiana.holistic.coach. The more nervous systems we reach, the more generational cycles we break, and the more we contribute to a kinder and safer world. And if you're looking for somatic healing services, send me a DM and I'd love to chat on how I can support you. I'll see you in the next episode.